Close your eyes and imagine the coronation day everyone thinks will unfold in gilded predictability. Golden carriage, handle trumpets, 20 million Union Jacks fluttering like a nation-sized heartbeat. Now yank that velvet curtain aside and glimpse the rough draft hidden in Prince William's locked red box, a plan thick with arrows, strike-throughs, and a single explosive goal written in his brisk hand: neutralize Andrew, fast. Because behind the grins, behind the wholesome school-run photos, the heir to the throne has quietly accepted that his first great act as king must be an amputation. In his view, the House of Windsor cannot limp into the algorithm age carrying the festering baggage of a disgraced uncle whose name trends alongside billion-dollar lawsuits and private jet punchlines. Insiders swear William's posture hardens whenever the subject surfaces, that his usual easy stride stiffens just slightly, as if rehearsing the weight of an axe. For months Kensington courtiers have nicknamed the dossier Project Clean Slate. It reads like a political thriller, 5 color-coded stages, each more merciless than the last. Stage 1 is already underway, starve the spotlight. Since King Charles took the crown, Andrew's public life has shrunk to an invisible dot. No balcony. No remembrance march past. No smiling alongside cousins at Royal Ascot. He exists only in private enclaves, glimpsed through long-lens photos trudging round Windsor Great Park in muddy deck shoes, or driving a battered Range Rover to the golf club where fellow members pretend not to stare. Stage 2. Sever ceremonial sinews. William has pushed, sometimes gently, sometimes with steely footnotes, to freeze Andrew's last scraps of regalia. The order of the Garter decision last summer? Courtiers whisper it was William's perfectly timed nudge that kept Andrew off the procession list, sparing the monarchy 1,000 humiliating front pages. Next in the crosshairs is that blue sash and star lurking in Andrew's wardrobe. Once it's stripped, Windsor doctrine dictates you never get it back. Stage 3 ratchets the tension: parliamentary napalm. A little-known legal lever, the Titles Deprivation Act 1917, still sits on the statute books, forged to erase German princes fighting for the Kaiser. It has not been wielded for over a century, but William's advisors have quietly updated a draft bill that would swap enemy combatant for egregious reputational harm. Passage requires both houses, a simple majority, and the king's rubber stamp. Charles is reluctant. He clings to the late Queen's mantra, never tear the family fabric. William, raised on social media speedstorms, thinks letting rot fester is worse. Should the bill detonate, Andrew's prince styling vaporizes in a heartbeat. Imagine that court circular entry: Andrew Windsor, formerly Her Royal Highness, attended as a private guest. No Sin-Eater outfit. No precedence. Just a surname and a courtesy Mr., the same honorary nothingness handed to minor cousins. Stage 4 targets Royal Lodge, the sprawling 30-room mansion Andrew clings to like a life raft. Andrew insists the late Queen granted him a 99-year lease. Crown estate lawyers say leases can dissolve on the grounds of reputational catastrophe and unpaid structural upkeep, and those bulging pest control invoices. William's plan? Evict, refurbish, then convert into a public wellness retreat for veterans and childhood trauma research, a PR masterstroke that transforms scandal square footage into virtue real estate. Stage 5 is the coldest cut of all: coronation exclusion. Multiple palace planners confirm William's crowning blueprint contains 2 guest lists. A includes every living royal, B has a crisp blank where Andrew's name should be. If Parliament hasn't yet swung the axe, an empty seat will telegraph the future king's judgment to 3 billion viewers faster than any bill. Either way, a single spectacle: boots marching, choirs lifting, a glaring gap in the royal rows would freeze Andrew's social temperature well below zero. How does Andrew respond? By digging talons into Royal Lodge guttering and whispering to allies that he will never accept banishment. He still sports bespoke suits, still expects curtsies from long-suffering staff, still fantasizes about a comeback via charity golf classics. His defenders, few but vocal, protest that the Duke fought for Queen and flag in the Falklands. William's camp counters: heroes do not dine with traffickers, nor pay out hush-money settlements north of £10 million. The legal chess is ruthless. Politicians smell low-hanging popularity. One backbencher already drafted an early-day motion titled Accountability of Royal Titles. Lobby correspondents predict cross-party backing. Progressives want monarchy reform, Conservatives want monarchy purged of liability. Rare alignment. William quietly counts votes in both chambers, knowing a father-of-nation narrative is stronger if he takes a scalp to prove standards apply even to kin. Meanwhile, the Twitterati sharpen knives. Memes of Andrew sweating in a Pizza Express booth flood timelines. TikTok teens remix Newsnight stammers over EDM drops. Each viral loop is a reminder to William that digital juries never adjourn. Lingering leniency risks tarnishing his own reign before it begins. Inside palace walls, courtiers debate the optics of brutality. Some urge a gentle fade-out, let Andrew dwindle into footnote status without headlines. William's response, according to a source who once debriefed him after an overseas tour: silence looks like sanction. Better to cauterize publicly than leave infection simmering. Behind that conviction looms one unspoken memory. William watched the monarchy bleed approval after 1997's mishandled grief. He vowed never to repeat slow-motion crises. Fans of the disgraced Duke, yes, they exist, call William's stance hypocritical, citing whispers about the heir's youthful indiscretions. Palace PR counters: there's a canyon between adolescent hijinks and multi-million-dollar settlements for allegations you deny yet pay to vanish. The public appears to agree. Polls hover at 70% for title removal. Timeframe. Palace insiders mention a symbolic window, the first 100 days of William's reign. Fresh sovereigns often exercise a new broom prerogative, think George VI axing Edwardian excess or Elizabeth II reshaping courtiers. William's broom could sweep Andrew out before the coronation confetti settles. Lawyers say drafting the titles bill takes a fortnight. Parliamentary passage could slide under emergency guise if worded as national reputation maintenance. That means Andrew might greet William's reign reading a Gazette notice stripping him down to civilian. Will Charles intervene? Friends claim father and son tension flickers here. The king wants dignity, William demands decisiveness. Charles may offer compromise, allow Andrew to keep his birth style but lose the York dukedom. William's allies see half measures as poison. Social media storms feed on loopholes. Behind closed Gatcom doors, Princess and is said to side with her nephew. Sources overheard her remark after a Commonwealth dinner: one rotten plank weakens the whole deck. Coming from the iron workhorse, the line landed like a gavel. And what of public coronation optics if Andrew is barred? Some palace dramaturges envisage a strategic camera angle, sweeping crane shot of Westminster Abbey's choir stalls, the seat once reserved for York conspicuously occupied by a decorated RAF veteran, symbolic trade of disgrace for honor. A single frame would reverberate across front pages, condensing William's disciplinary ethos into an indelible image. Skeptics argue legal pitfalls loom. Andrew could sue, Parliament might balk, but William's camp seems confident. They cite 1919 precedent: Parliament rubber-stamped deportations of German-born dukes in days. If legislators hesitate, public fury will prod them along, they believe. And Andrew? His circle whispers of draft memoirs, vaults of letters, private family audio that could embarrass multiple royals if he is pushed too far. Palace risk teams have run the threat model. Yes, Andrew knows secrets, but public sympathy is vaporous. Any tell-all would likely backfire, cementing the case for further banishment. One security advisor told William bluntly, "Leverage works only when people still care what you say." So we stand on the brink of a royal purge unseen since 1936. The House of Windsor's once unstoppable problem prince may soon discover there is one thing more absolute than hereditary privilege: an heir apparent determined to save the institution by burning a bridge to his own blood. It's ruthless, it's risky, but William believes it's righteous, and in a hyperconnected age, righteousness sells. Will Parliament provide the axe? Will Andrew cling to the rubble of Royal Lodge and threaten scorched earth memoirs? Or will the Duke slink quietly into groomed obscurity, title-less but still breathing the rarefied Windsor air? The countdown ticks. Sources claim William's draft proclamation sits on encrypted palace servers labeled Implementation, Day X. One trigger, one digital signature, and a prince becomes past tense. Stay tuned, dear viewers. When the guillotine falls, whether in a late-night Commons vote or in a coronation seating plan that leaves one very empty chair, you'll want front-row seats to the most brutal brand control exercise the modern monarchy has ever staged. Like this video if you think righteousness should trump blood right, share your verdict in the comments, and tap subscribe so you don't miss the moment the Duke of York becomes simply Andrew Windsor, citizen.